Good evening, everyone. Ellen Sutter of ESP Presents and ESP Book Chats, where we bring page turners your way. How are you guys doing tonight? Our guest tonight is Dana Clark Jackson. Again, Dana Clark Jackson. Her book is titled Reconciled Black by Experience: My Struggle for Legitimacy. Come on in, Dana. Come on in the room. Hello, hello, hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. OMG. And it is great to see you. And I am glad to have your story. And those that are looking on, hopefully your friends and our friends has found us. And this has been even though for the folks that are out there, this is the Scout Out Shout Out. And what we normally do is just speak from the synopsis. I have not turned the pages or know anything about her story. And if she decides to come back to have the full story, this is 20 to 30 minutes. And we're going to talk about her story. So tell them about yourself, the backdrop of your book, and why you penned this.
Okay, so I am a probably a person of many talents, many hats that I wear. First and foremost, I am a wife and a mother and a grandmother. I am a life skills coach. That is my number one area right now. However, I teach. I have taught K through 12. I have worked in men and women's prisons. So a lot of work with families and individuals with backgrounds in trauma and at-risk youth and things of that nature. Um, and the reason I penned the book in particular, it probably was more therapeutic for me. And as I wrote it, I allowed people close to me to read the material. And a very, very good friend of mine came to me and said, "You need to do this. You need to publish this book." And I thought, well, I mean, I can share it because I was self-published. And she said, "No, you don't understand. People need to hear what you're talking about because this is something that's very important for our history, and a lot of people are struggling." And I said, "Okay." So my first bout with deciding to really kind of go out there with it was when a prisoner in the women's prison that I was actually teaching life skills to came to me and she said, "You need to put this book in every inmate's hand in this place." And I thought to myself, okay, we've got some serious things here that people are identifying with in this book. And so it was like, okay, this became a passion of mine, just sharing my story because I believe authenticity is everything. So
Yes, yes. And go ahead. I don't
I
want
was
to
going to
stop
say, so
you.
it's never been about actually making income from the book. My husband kind of teases me because I've actually probably given more books away than I probably should out of my own pocket. But again, I have a passion for reconciliation, so I know the story needs to be heard.
Wow. And so, if those of you who just came in, we're going to reset quite early and let you guys know our guest here is Dana Clark Jackson. Again, her book is titled Reconciled Black by Experience: My Struggle for Legitimacy. Okay, the title. Why the title?
Okay, so long story short, I was born in 1958. That is 9 years before interracial marriage was actually legalized through the Supreme Court case of Loving versus the state of Virginia. That was in 1967. I was born in 1958. And so it was illegal for my parents to get married.
Wait, hold on just a minute. Somebody asked me about this. Were you, your family, the story, the Virginia story? That's what someone wanted me to ask.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. It's not the Virginia story, but it did happen to you guys as well.
Yes. Yes. They actually married. So
Mm-hmm,
they had to fight for their right for it to be legitimized in the state of Virginia.
mm-hmm.
My parents were forbidden to get married. It was illegal in Indiana.
Oh, wow. So, with this story here, and it still goes on today, you know, prejudice, hatred, and all that stuff. and you, I want to say, penned your book or build your story on reconciling as opposed to hate. Okay, so you start off in your synopsis, you start off saying, and you just said a moment ago that your parents were forbidden to marry because of the color line. Did they
Yes.
tell you anything about that story? Was it just, down the line, or you happen to be a fly on the wall to know the depth of this story?
I actually did not know anything at all about their story. My mother never talked about it. As a matter of fact, because of a trauma that took place in my life at the age of 19, my mother reached out to my father, who was in Chicago at that time, and scheduled a flight for me to go meet him. I'd never seen him.
Mm,
So the first time I met my father, I was 19 years of age, and I was meeting him at the O'Hare
that's my
terminal,
hometown up there, O'Hara Airport. Yes, I do
Chicago.
know about that.
And
So, unlike the story, and we're not trying to connect your story to it, but because someone had asked,
yeah,
so the story of the Loving versus Virginia, if I have it right, they were married, but
yes,
your parents didn't make it to being married. They were just forbidden. But
yes,
you were born in that relationship, I'll say.
yes. I was born. She was only 18 years of age. So they were both in high school. And as young people do, got a little promiscuous. And
Mm-hmm.
she conceived. And Um, well, the state that I was born in, Indiana, was home to headquartered to the Ku Klux Klan at the time. So we're talking the 1930s was the last big move of KKK. However, everyone in the state was pretty much KKK. So when you're talking about government, police, everything. So
Mm.
they actually put her in jail for dating a black man and we're talking about a teenager. I think she was 19 after she had me. And they made her wear nigger lover around her neck to take the picture. So, yeah, it was, I didn't find this out until my mom was close to uh, dying from cancer. We had a long talk
So,
and I was
Dana, just
like,
wait, Dana, just to slow down. That's why this story has to be in depth. So this is just a 20-minute guide. So just slow down just a moment. So your mom hadn't even married your
never
father
knew,
yet. Your
never
father
knew.
is a black man. Your mother is white. She's 19. She's jailed. What could her family say? I know I'm born in the 60s, so I'm pretty sure they could do nothing. So tell us about that part of it.
Well, here's the interesting thing here. So, both my parents were raised in church. My mother was a PK's kid,
Mm-hmm.
pastor's daughter, Four Square Pentecostal Church. My,
Ooh, I know
I,
about that. I'm
they
Pentecostal,
were
but
they
mm-hmm.
were church planters for their denomination.
Yes. Okay.
And my grandmother was Church of God in Christ. She was an organist. So, what divided them literally was the color line.
Mm. At 19, that's very, very frightening. Did you feel in any way, Dana, that because you are I want to say, product of this marriage, did you feel like you, in some way, as a child, made this happen
I
because of your birth?
Not as a child. I really didn't know what I was experiencing. I do know that there were feelings of confusion, doubt, insecurity, rejection, not sure why. Mom was an alcoholic. Now I understand why. So there was a lot of things that I discovered after growing up, becoming an adult, going back to school late. I have one of my degrees is in African American studies. I have a master's degree in human relations. So I have done racial reconciliation conferences and I pull from my own experiences in dealing with the issues because it kind of de-escalates it. In other words, no one can really pit one against the other because I'm the sandwich in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it makes it very palatable for people to actually hear my story.
Wow. So you said in your synopsis, keep in mind, guys, I'm going to reset once again. and we have our guest, Donna I'm sorry, Dana Clark Jackson, and her book again is titled "Reconciled." Would you happen to have that with you, the book with you? If
I
not, if not, if you come back, I hope you do because there's more layers to this. But Reconciled Black by Experience: My Struggle for Legitimacy. So, with this, I wanted to say this is her synopsis. We have not dig or turned the pages yet. This is just a little skimp of it, just like you get the bologna and you haven't fried it up yet. You just took the string off of the fried bologna. So that's all we doing is taking the string off. We have not eaten the bologna yet. And so with this, you said on the birth certificate that your father's name kind of, in my words, raised some eyebrows.
his name was
Just,
not
I mean,
allowed.
his name was not allowed. You said because on the birth certificate,
Correct.
so was not allowed
No. They
at all.
actually, my mother was taken to a pregnancy home. I'm not sure where they took her. They took her to Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay.
And that's where I was born. So I wasn't born in Muncie, which is where I was conceived.
Hmm. Wow. So she had to hide her pregnancy, right?
She hid her pregnancy up until 6 months by wearing jeans and an oversized shirt.
But when she gave birth, you know about
Yes.
that story.
It's in the book, but it was very, very tedious because
We have to read it, y'all. Okay, so I tried, but we got to read it. So we got to read
it's
it.
a
So
lot.
I'll just tell you that it's a lot. It's a handful. It's a lot. But oh my goodness, I'm asking stuff that I would have to read. So we're going to put a pause and a finger on that. You guys will have to wait when I get it, and you guys going to have to do that. But you also mentioned that there was missing like your racial background or your racial identity.
Yeah, that was
How
not.
how did they when they omit that? What did they tell you? Like on the birth certificate, were you
It doesn't
considered
say.
white,
It
black,
does
or
not say.
nothing?
Nothing. Because they gave me my mother's maiden name. So probably the assumption was that I was white.
Wow, it's a lot of hidden stuff. So now that you're growing up, you okay, you said your mom had cancer. So were you able to be around her on the book cover? You guys, when you see the book cover, is your mom holding you, correct? No, that is not your mom. Okay, I assumed it. Tell me who that is on the book cover.
That is my grandmother,
Your grandmother.
preacher's
And,
wife.
and is that you?
Yes.
Your grandmother and you, and not your mother. Okay. Where's mom?
Maybe taking the picture. I'm not sure. She was,
Okay.
yeah. That
Ooh.
may have been the dedication. I am not sure. I know that she dedicated me to the Lord at her parents' church.
So was your mother more white than your grandmother? Blonde hair, look exactly like?
Yeah, she's blonde haired, blue eyed. There's pictures in the book.
I, uh, we're gonna have to get the book, y'all. I can't. You, this is like squeezing a small lemon. You're just getting drizzles. See, we got to come back, y'all. Oh my goodness! Wow, just the book cover alone. Was that the original picture and somehow passed down to you? How did you get a hold of this picture?
My mother passed away. I got things that belonged to her, and she had things that belonged to my grandmother. So I saw quite a few things in there. Old pictures, some pictures as even a teenager with my grandparents that I really didn't recall, but yeah. And there's a picture of me at 15 at a Christmas gathering with the family with an afro, and everybody else is white with blonde hair and blue eyes. So
Oh my goodness!
I had a Cleo Jones coat on, the fall fur with the afro. Yeah.
Didn't that raise eyebrows?
Oh, just a little bit. I'm sure it did. like I said, you guys gonna have to get the book because
You're
it's
gonna have to
a
get the
lot of
book.
stuff in
You're
there.
definitely gonna have to get the book. You talked about when. Let me ask you this way: when did you find? This might sound a little strange, but I'm nosy. Were you told you were black? I mean, like they told you were black, or you knew, or you
Oh,
heard through the grapevine that you was
my
black.
mother always let me know. I
She
had never.
always let you know. You could have that conversation
Yeah.
and say you're
Well,
black.
it wasn't a conversation. It was more like understood because she didn't date any white men. After her and my father went their separate ways, and she moved to California, which is where I was raised. Uh,
Hmm.
she dated specifically black men.
Okay, it's freer, much freer in California. Way back when they were. Well, I don't know about that time in the 50s
Except
or
we ended
60s.
up in the LA riots.
Is that in the book?
Yes, it is.
Okay, we got a lot to talk about. We got, as again I said, resetting. We are only talking from the synopsis, and we have not we have not even deep dived into the stories. You talk about redemption, triumph over prejudice and hatred. You choose love. Tell us about that. What was that like?
Well, throughout my life, there was a great deal of trauma and rejection. Very young, 13, 19. Life was kind of a blur of just chaos. A lot of moving, a lot of resituating, trying to find my identity and things of that nature. Uh, Part of the book also is going to delve into my background in music. So I was in the music industry and I was going to sign record contracts at one point. And essentially, before I got to that place, I was suicidal because of the rejection, not just of from family, but society at large could not give me a place. When I was coming up, there was no representation of biracial or mixed people. So you didn't see us in advertisements. You didn't see us in hair care products. You didn't see us necessarily musically. You were either
Mm-hmm.
black or white. So even filling out paperwork, that's all that you would see is black or white. There was no nuance. So
Mm.
that was very hard. And I was an only child. So there was no one to identify with. And I recall the first time I decided to wear an afro and I went to get my hair shaped up at a barber shop. And the gentleman shaped my hair in such a way that it brought a lot of attention to me because of my fair complexion. So I heard one person say, "Oh, you look like Angela Davis."
That's a good one. They gave you a good
Well,
afro. I'm telling you.
here's the problem. I
Whoa.
didn't know who Angela Davis was. So you understand, I'm being raised in a
Yes.
home with a white woman, but I'm being raised in the black community without really connecting.
Wow. So
So
who are you most? Did you get it? You say you got it from both sides. Black side. You wasn't black enough to be black. You wasn't white enough to be white.
nope.
So there you go. Just tossing about. When did your confidence come in? When did your confidence come in? And I noticed that you said at your title, Black by Experience. So you had no I this is me saying as a reader
Yeah,
that even though you were biracial, you
my
knew
experience.
nothing about black. It was your experience that let you know you
Yeah.
black and you're gonna have some black trouble.
And it also,
Wow, what a tough decision to just go by experience to know this.
yeah, yeah, I did not. I mean, I have a wonderful relationship with my dad's only sibling, which is my Aunt Barbara. She
Hmm.
is in Indiana. I met her when my father was dying, and she contacted me and said, "You need to come if you're going to see him. You need to come now." And so this is only the second time that I'm seeing my father.
Wow.
So I'm going to visit him in the hospital, and he's dying.
Mm.
And we got to know each other a little bit there, and we built that relationship uh, back from, I think he passed in 2006. So
Okay.
um, it was very, very tedious, not with her. It was less tedious with her than my mother's side, actually. But we had to build that. We had to be
Mm-hmm.
heart to heart conversations. I asked them the hard things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but she was very loving. Being a Christian, we had that in common. That was the common bond. And so she was able to open up with me and tell me some things. And long story, but
Mm-hmm.
it's that'll probably be another book. The
Yes, yes.
process
No.
of reconciliation. So yeah, I'm actually working on fundraising for the film documentary. I was approached by a director, an Emmy Award winning director, about doing a documentary based on the book.
Yes, and that's in a I also tagged that on to our show, upcoming show about that, and I just can't wait to see to that happens, because I always wanted. I talked to another lady, and I hope you guys meet as well. She's on Facebook. I've had a show with her as well, and she had the same struggle you had,
Mm.
but she said there was no conversation about it. And her name is Kimberly Beasley. So I'll tag you two afterwards. You guys will be a power pack team. She has a book that teaches children because she said that's where it starts.
Yeah.
Searching for Me. That's the title of the book. It's a children's book. It's loaded, even though it's a children's book, it's loaded with things. She didn't know her identity. So let me ask you the same. Did you feel in some kind of way that you knew your identity? uh, Being that you said that it was missing. When you say missing, something was missing.
Yeah. Well, actually, and there is a poem in the front of the book, which is titled "Black by Experience," and
Mm,
really sums it all up. It really does because it says uh, my skin olive, my speech sometimes slang, my walk a high step and swagger mellowed by education, but I am black by experience.
mm,
My mother, a preacher's daughter, gone astray, left that thing called the white way and crossed over the railroad tracks where burdens are carried on broad shouldered backs, making me black by experience. Hair kinky curled, native round face, not your norm, but still black by experience. Was poverty bound, but higher ground found me, head stretched high, heavens in sight, broke free from tyranny, ethnicity still intact, and yes, I am still black by experience.
ooh, girl. Yes, yes. Just that alone. Are you going to do more poetry, or you just
I do poetry. I
okay?
do, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That is beautiful. I'm glad this is going to be loaded up on YouTube, as I said. But this is only the synopsis. Let's see. We're at that mark. I'm telling you, it was quick. We're at that mark. And what would you want the folks that's looking in replay time or just looking now? What would you tell not only just children of biracial, I don't know if I want to say descendant, but just that's biracial and adults. Let's speak into the children and then let's speak into the adults that endured.
Really, I can speak to everyone from a particular scripture. Uh, there's a scripture in Psalms, I believe, 119:34. Oh, might be 134:19, but I'm pretty sure it's 134:19. I am fearfully and wonderfully made by God.
Mm,
That is my identity. That is what saved me, literally, because I was suicidal at 19. And I cried out to God on my knees in my bedroom. And I told God, I said, if you're real, I did not know him. I wasn't raised in church. And I just honestly said, if you're real, I need you to help me because I can't do this alone. I can't. And I remember his presence like it was yesterday, flooding my room, flooding my soul,
mm,
flooding my heart, drying up the tears and all the anxiousness and rejection and fear just melted in his presence. And when I read that scripture, and I can't tell you exactly when it hit, but I do remember it resonating And I understood I was accepted in the beloved, and there was nothing anybody else had to say to me.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Where can folks reach you and where can they buy your books?
The book is available everywhere they sell books, including Barnes and Noble and Amazon. They can reach me at my email, danaclarkjackson@gmail.com.
Thank you so much for being here. I told you this is a quick thing. We hope that you would come back and we would love to hear the full story. I'm definitely going to get the book and the full story is a 3 day, 1 hour each day, but scheduled.
Yes,
And would certainly like to deep dive and get some of those things without telling the story
yes, ma'am.
away because you did real good without telling me anything. Y'all, I tried. That's
It's in there. It's in there.
you, did y'all see her every time I ask her something, she says in the book. Didn't give me nothing, so I didn't get any information either. Thank you so much, Dana. What would you like to say? Were you getting ready to say
Well,
something?
I will tell you this. The book, it was not written really to sell per se. It was written to tell a story of redemption and hope and reconciliation. And since that time, I have done multiple racial reconciliation conferences.
Mm,
I have spoken at the University of Oklahoma. I am supposed to be traveling. I was supposed to travel to Liberia this October, and unfortunately, we had an illness in our family, so it's being rescheduled. But that also is for reconciliation purposes because there are a lot of people in Liberia that come from different backgrounds. And so the government essentially has been having some issues, and I was asked to come and address this to the church there in Liberia. So,
wow. That is amazing. And I am so looking forward, like I say, your choice to come back to get the full story and also your voice to go out there because like I told my other guest, I was telling you about her book, um, that I didn't know. I always wanted to know how someone that is biracial, how do they feel? How do they feel that they fit in society? Because I know from not from experience, but just from looking on that some of them may have the skin color and hair just as kinky as ours, and they don't know what to do with it, and they don't know where
yes.
they fit in, and I hate to say this, and you could help, you could tell me better, is that it appears that in society or maybe around people in general that they have to you guys have to choose whether you want to
Yes.
be black or
Yes.
whether you want to be white. You have to choose.
They
Not
tried
that
to
you
make
it's not your choice, but you have to.
They try to make you do well, and the book is it clearly addresses that issue and the confrontations and the consequence of not doing that.
Oh,
I talk about that,
there you
and
go again. There,
not
we can't get none, y'all. We can't get this has been
read
this
it.
has been amazing. We hope that you come back so that we can dig into the full story. Again, this is the shout out scout out. It is 20 to 30 minutes and only the synopsis. So we look forward to your story. You have an amazing night. Tell the hubby hello. Thank you for having this moment with us. And you'll hit that X to go out. Just,
Yes,
I don't know
ma'am.
what it is up top. And you
Okay.
have an amazing night. Thank you for sharing this, and you'll get it on YouTube and Facebook.
Thank you. You have a good
You're
evening.
so welcome. You too, as well. Wow, what a story. She didn't give us. We have to look at the story. There's an X up there. We have to look at the story, and we will find out more and more about her story. Remember, this is just the synopsis. Again, the title of her book is Reconciled Black by Experience, My Struggle for Legitimacy. And you can get that, she said, at any bookstore. Again, this was a scout out shout out. This is not even the full story. As I said before, this is just a little tad bit of the story. If you guys are looking to be on our scout out shout out, we're going to open it back up in January, February. It is a 20 to 30-minute show only on your synopsis. And if you choose to come back to deep dive into the story, we look forward to that. So again, thank you guys. I'm Ellen Sutter of ESP Presents and ESP Book Chats, where we bring page turners your way. You guys have an amazing night, and thank you again. And Dana Clark Jackson, thank you for showing up for you. Have an amazing night, guys. Good night.